Hi, this is Tina Tang from Iron Strong Jewelry, and I'm interviewing Meredith Gray of Kiinoa Snacks to find out what it was that made her want to start her own business. Okay, I'm going to pin this on her. Whoops.
Ooh. Hi, guys.
Okay. So, Meredith. Okay. When did you make the decision to start your own business?
Ooh. It was probably about like 4 years ago, and I remember sitting at my desk being very corporate and eating a lot of Pirate's Booty and realizing I had eaten just an entire bag of Pirate's Booty, the family size, and so I decided that I wanted to make something that was like a little heartier, healthier, something that would like sustain you and you wouldn't have to go through a whole bag to feel bad about it.
So it was actually an aha moment?
Mm-hmm. It was, and then so I had that idea, and then also just found that I'd been traveling in South America and the Middle East and Asia, and just got really inspired by their snacks as well. So initially I wanted to do like a quinoa popcorn because I was very excited about popcorn and eating a lot of it. So this is our sort of version of that, like a quinoa cheesy poof kind of thing.
So you mentioned that traveling gave you inspiration. What was it about some of those unusual snacks that you saw that made you think about your snack?
Well, I think that like I had been in the Middle East, and they had all sorts of snacks that I had never seen before, like snacks in snacks, and the different flavor profiles. And I had been backpacking in South America a long time ago and had been eating quinoa, didn't really know anything about it at that time, and finally realized that like we could put two and two together and kind of meld the health benefits of quinoa and then like have the fun snacky part of this.
So your snacks are made of quinoa. Can you describe just the texture and what it is that tell us more specifically about Kiinoa Snacks.
Oh, sure. The Kiinoa Snacks themselves, we have 3 flavors. We have a cheddar cheese, so 5 grams of protein per bag. It's a lot of product in the bag, which was intentional. We have a honey mustard jalapeno, which is dairy-free, really good, and like if you want to sprinkle it on soup or salad. And we have a toasted cinnamon as well that is vegan, so really yummy in like milk or yogurt. So the consistency is kind of like it's like a healthy Cheeto. People say that a lot.
It does taste like Cheeto.
Yeah. So it has that like light, fluffy consistency, but it has like the heartiness of the quinoa.
How did you go from idea to execution? Because that seems, for anyone who would want to do their own new snack, that seems like a long, laborious process. Timeline, and how did you go?
It was a long, laborious process. So I had started thinking about this probably 4 years ago, and just did a lot of like cold calling, different manufacturers, trying to figure out the process because I had never worked in food before.
Yeah.
And so just kind of kept making connections, kept talking to people in the industry, found some good advisors, and just started. Like I found my manufacturer is also a food scientist, and so we worked together to kind of create the consistency in the product, and that was that.
How long did that take?
It was start and stop for about 2 years or so. So
that's
2+ years.
Helpful for people to know that not to be discouraged if it doesn't happen in a month or two.
Right. And I think I also had some, I was really looking for a business partner, which I'm still always kind of looking for. It's really hard to do it on your own. So I think that kind of like hindered my timeline a little bit, but just persevere, and if you have an idea, go for it.
What were you doing before?
I was doing international sales for like a technology media tech company. So it was a startup too, and it was really fun to be a part of that. And So I decided that I kind of liked that piece of it, but wanted to go into a different industry.
So far, you're about 3 years in?
It's about 2 years in, actually.
2 years in
yep.
now? What, of all the things you've experienced, what's been the greatest challenge? Is it trying to find a partner, or was it the development?
I think it's trying to just, I think partner has a big challenge. Doing it on your own is a big challenge, as you know.
Yeah.
So, you don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of, and you need like that sounding board. You can always find those people. So I would really recommend, finding like-minded people in the same industry. I have a lot of friends who are doing their own food startups, so that's really helpful. And then I think that's probably the biggest challenge so far. Funding is always a challenge, but
yes.
It's out there, so it's definitely go find it.
It's just a matter of looking hard.
Just a matter of getting into it and really applying.
What would you say your greatest triumph has been so far?
My greatest triumph. I think like just the execution of it, finally getting to that point of like, this is in concept, handing it out in little plastic bags that had zero branding and zero anything, and really like making the product come to life, so to speak.
Seeing it actually in,
and then seeing it in stores and really starting to like build your model of like how you're going to grow and kind of figuring that piece of it out too.
It's a lot.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. Who's been your greatest supporter, and what is it they do to make you feel supported?
Well, probably my family, Dad. Dad's been a great supporter. Family, friends, everyone's really kind of like pitched in. I have been bootstrapping this for, since the inception. So really pulling on friends who have, design backgrounds or financial modeling backgrounds, and really using like your resources. I think like close that you trust is really, really important. So
what gives you the courage to continue even when it feels really frustrating?
Well, a part of it is like, I've gotten in this far. It's just that feeling of like, well, I can't stop now.
That makes sense.
And but I think like really what's exciting, still always exciting for me, is like seeing the people's reaction about the product. They try it and they're like, oh, this is quinoa. That's not how I envisioned quinoa. That's really cool. It's really tasty. I can give it to my kids, etc., etc. So.
Why did you decide quinoa versus anything else? Like, what was it specifically about that? I had been eating it, and then I really liked the consistency. We played around with a couple of other different types of grains and rices and stuff like that, and this seemed to have like the biggest bang for your buck as far as like protein and fiber. So that's kind of what I was going for, because I really wanted something that would keep you energized and but still have the fun snacky piece of it. So that's the reason for that. So during times where you're frustrated, or what is it that makes you feel strong, or what is it that helps you, besides already being invested in it, is there anything that helps you get through those days that it just seems very frustrating?
Just reminding myself of all the other previously frustrating days, and like this day I think like probably one of the biggest things I've learned just for myself is I used to kind of freak out about I have to make a decision right now, and this has to be and I would put so much stress and so much pressure on myself. And I think that when you take a step back and you just say, all right, like I can feel okay with being in this space. It's uncomfortable, but like I'm gonna let it breathe for a bit, because I know my decision-making process, I need a little bit of time to like come to the best decision. And then obviously like ask people that you trust and stuff like that.
So tell us where we can find your product online and on social media.
Yeah, for sure. So we sell Kiinoa Snacks on our website, is www.kiinoasnacks.com. We will be on Amazon very shortly.
Woo!
And then we are currently selling in several like online platforms. We're going to be expanding into like 500 stores over the next
great.
month.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. That's in New York and Brooklyn. And so hopefully we're going to be expanding, and we'll take it from there.
Do you have a Kiinoa Snacks on you?
I do.
I'm going to take the microphone off so I'll close out, and then that way you can pull it out.
Oh, okay.
As she's getting her Kiinoa Snacks, I'm going to say you can find more in a transcript of this at ironstrongjewelry.com/blog. Meredith is looking for, you have.
I took them out.
Oh no, she took them out. So
I took them out.
Kiinoa, Kiinoa snacks.com. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay.